pleased to welcome Tommy Gayford to the stage to present the award.
It's a great pleasure to be here. You can see by the movies that Aramis has given me one of the greatest pleasures of my life and experiences in the horse world. I was fortunate to be the chef for a long time with the team, and taking Mario to Gothenburg and suffering through it with you could see I suffer a lot, but that was a great thrill, and with a few other experiences, it ranks along with the top in my life in the horse world. Now we have to, with Aramis, you've seen practically everything and heard everything from Roger and Ian. You have to think that Roger put this together. He's a great mechanic, and he put together a syndicate of 10 people in Montreal area to put this horse and make it available to Mario. Mario, a very young rider, very dedicated rider, and he just, as you saw there, took this horse and took him right to the top in the world. Now this horse took Mario to the top. The horse was a great competitor and really started Mario on his way to being the great competitor he is today and a great member of the team. So there isn't a lot more you can say about the horse. The screen told us all about it. So I have great pleasure in helping the induction of Aramis into the Hall of Fame.
Good evening, everyone. As you know, I should not be the one in front of you tonight. It's an honor that should be held by Mr. Baudouin. Mr. Baudouin is taking a few days off in the Scandinavian spa, trying to figure out how to set up landing gears. I'm the husband of Roger's sister, or as I prefer to be known, uncle of Mario and Patrice, or if you want, and father of Lily and Laurence, who rides. Roger tells me that I'm not too good at riding, but I pay well his bill. We were 13 in that group, and we're sitting tonight at table number 13. And when you live in Quebec, you can't be superstitious. So I read that book, and on the first paragraph, they're telling you about the legend of Aramis and Mario. So let me add you a few true stories to add to that legend. Now, what Rogers told you on the video is that I remember very well Mr. Baudouin passing by in Hemingford, Quebec, and calling Roger. In fact, Mr. Baudouin thought that he had the initiative of that group, but that's what Rogers makes him believe. And Mr. Baudouin called Roger and said, I found a horse. So Rogers, as you saw, asked him, how high does he jump? And question like that. And Mr. Baudouin answered, I don't know. He didn't jump. Well, he said, what do you want us to know if you don't know how high he'll jump? He said, I don't need. You should see the color. It is true that Mr. Baudouin that day put the cash down based on the color. Before I go into those unbelievable moments we had in Los Angeles. There's a second fairy tale to it, and Susan Berkman at my table was asking what happened with Aramis after, because they said that you've decided to sell that horse. I said no, it was in the chart of the corporation. We had to get rid of the assets after the Olympics. So what happened with Aramis after is part of the legend. You know, because you are riders, that there's more than animal and human in that relation. Aramis never wanted to jump after. Not as well. So the lady who bought it from the U.S. Was hiring Mario from time to time to come down and show the rider that this horse can jump. But the horse didn't want to jump anymore, as well as that team was so solid. Aramis died. Simple that he just eat a carrot, scratch his throat, and it turned into a cancer. 6 months after we sold it, the horse was dead. Those moments in Los Angeles, to make it on a more happy story, have taught me a few things. I know that my heart will not explode after 200 beats per minute. And I know that I hear that little click on the last bar of the last jump. I know that I can survive a cardiac arrest of 1 minute. So for all those moments that we had in Los Angeles for a week, putting together the most eclectic group you can imagine. You saw on the video that groom, that jumping. Well, the groom matched Mr. Baudouin's cash. We were all equal, $5,000. The groom put $5,000, Laurent Baudouin put $5,000, and believe it or not, this is only 23 years ago, you could buy a horse like that for $65,000. Today, that's the price to enter the class. So, Mario, that group had only one belief. They believe in Mario. Mario and Roger were God for us. It doesn't make sense, to back up a kid of 16 years old on a horse that never jumped, but I have a very nice collar, and say, we'll get the gold. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. I think as Gilles finished his last line, it's almost unbelievable that we came up with a plan that almost worked in 2 years. Buying a horse, compete at the Olympics, and winning a gold medal. Aramis was truly my first Grand Prix horse and probably one of my best horse in my riding career, and a horse that brought tremendous winnings and excitement for Canada, and we were very proud to have this horse with us, and we miss him, and we hope he has a good life right now, and hopefully some other ones will come. Thank you.
In the jumper category, that is Aramis.